Hojicha vs. Genmaicha is a comparison that's often made. These two are both inexpensive, popular amongst new tea drinkers, and they are both included in our roasted teas section. In this video, we're going to be comparing Genmaicha versus Hojicha to see what makes these two teas similar and what makes them different. Let's get started. Before we talk about the difference between Hojicha and Genmaicha, let's first define each of these teas. First, we have Hojicha. Hojicha is a special type of roasted tea from Japan. The tea is typically made from the older leaves of the tea plant, and they are steamed, rolled, and dried, as if the farmer were producing a Matcha. Then the tea is roasted in either a hot pan or a roasting machine. During the roasting process, the tea loses its more vegetal or grassy notes and picks up these warmer notes of caramel, coffee, and chocolate. What about Genmaicha? The difference between Hojicha versus Genmaicha is that Genmaicha is not a roasted tea. It's made from a mixture of unroasted tea leaves and toasted rice. The addition of the toasted rice is why we include Genmaicha in our roasted teas section. One of the similarities between Genmaicha versus Hojicha is that Genmaicha is also made from the older leaves of the tea plant. These older tea leaves are lower in caffeine, and then the caffeine content is once again lowered through the addition of the roasted rice. What about the difference between Hojicha and Genmaicha flavor? One major difference between Hojicha and Genmaicha is the flavor of the two teas. Both Hojicha and Genmaicha can have these caramel flavors, but Hojicha drifts more into the coffee and chocolate direction, while Genmaicha has more of the cereal taste. Both of these flavors can be quite warming and comforting, particularly on a cold afternoon. Hojicha versus Genmaicha benefits. Now let's talk a bit about the benefits of Hojicha versus Genmaicha. Although the teas made from older leaves are lower in nutrients compared to younger leaf teas like Sencha, Gyokuro, and Matcha, they are higher in minerals. This makes them great for digestion or drinking after a meal. One difference between Hojicha and Genmaicha is caffeine content. While the older leaves make the caffeine content relatively low for both of these teas, Genmaicha has the addition of the toasted rice. Because rice doesn't contain caffeine, it brings the average down. So what's the best tea for nighttime, Genmaicha or Hojicha? Both of these teas have a very low caffeine content and these warming flavors. If you really care more about the flavor, Hojicha has more strength and more of these chocolatey flavors. If your concern is more with the caffeine content of the tea you're drinking at nighttime, you should go for Genmaicha, as this will be slightly lower in caffeine. We have a great Genmaicha from Hojicha in Shizuoka. This tea is produced by a group of farmers that are committed to growing tea without the use of pesticides or chemicals. This tea is full of that caramel or cereal flavor that people really love, and it's becoming one of our more popular teas. It's also available at a very low price, making it the perfect tea for beginners. If you're sensitive to caffeine or you simply prefer this warming and soothing Hojicha flavor, we recommend you try out one of our Hojicha teas. After traveling around Japan for the past few years, we've met with dozens of farmers and sampled many different types of roasted tea. We ultimately decided on a small handful of our favorites to share with tea lovers like you all around the world. We have a great lightly roasted Hojicha from Mr. Noike in Kyoto that is very well liked by the neo-teas community. Because it's grown in the middle of a pine forest, it's partially shaded throughout the day, and it takes on a smoother and sweeter flavor. When you order tea from us, you're not only helping to support this channel, you're also helping us to support the dozens of talented farmers we work with all around Japan. We hope that by sharing these farmers' stories and their teas with people all around the world, we can help to transition the tea industry into a more positive, sustainable direction. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you have any questions about Hojicha, Genmaicha, or tea in general, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you next time.